What's up, guys? This is Danielle from the Collective Genius, and we are live in Scottsdale for our Q3 2022 event. I am here with real estate investor Tyler Markham. Tyler, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. Good to see you again.
Very good. Likewise.
Thank you. Thank you. I know. So I saw you last quarter. You presented last quarter.
I did.
And I also heard that you came in second place for.
I was told it was a tie, but I really do think I just won. But yeah, it was a tie.
So I mean, it's an honor to come into, second place. And so tell me a little bit about what that presentation was about.
Yeah, so just to back up for a second, it's really hard to be able to provide content to a group of investors that are such high level investors. So I picked a topic that I felt was something that has impacted me the most, that has been a connection that I've made through CG. So I presented on taking tours of people's businesses. And the thing that I talked about was, it's one thing to network in the hallway here, or it's one thing to make a connection while you're in a group setting, but it's another thing to actually resonate with their business in their own backyard. Right. And so I've taken 3 different trips to shadow 3 different businesses that I met here in CG, all with different desired outcomes for those trips. So we shadowed 3 different businesses for 3 different reasons, and the takeaways were amazing.
Awesome. Who were some of the investors that you toured with?
Yes, so I owe a huge thank you to all 3 of these folks, but Pat Martin in Knoxville, Tennessee, I was able to shadow his business. Stephanie and Zach Betters in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then also Brad Young and BJ Gramillion here in the Phoenix, Arizona area.
Yeah, so that's a solid group, group of individuals. Any specific takeaways from any of those tours that you were able to then go and implement in your own business?
Yes, so I could give you the 3 takeaways from each business and why I went there. Okay. Brad and BJ have an incredible new development construction arm of their business. I think they're some of the biggest new development and construction company in CG, and they're really quiet and they're really humble. But something that was an intangible takeaway for me was, if you can literally think of your biggest dream and you can think of like the biggest version of what you want to create, those guys have done it. Like, they've done it, and it was just a dream builder and a belief builder for me to see their operation run at such a high level. So we were able to tour custom homes that they both sold as the realty company, ran as an in-house plumbing company, sold the lot, developed the home. And that was just amazing to see. So the takeaway was, the dream is doable. That's awesome.
What was your biggest takeaway when you visited the Betters?
Yeah, so the Betters, it goes without saying, everyone knows Stephanie for the marketing arm, but I need you to understand that Zach Betters is a wholesale monster. And so I went to shadow the Betters process in Zach's business to understand dispositions better. And, we work in Salesforce with Stephanie, so I knew that the marriage from them working in Salesforce and doing their dispo would be something we could learn. So, one of my biggest takeaways was, they have done an incredible job building their buyers list, making sure they're intentional with their buyers list. They network with them all the time. And the other thing was, they sell very few of their deals to actual investors. Their buyers are primarily mom and pops or retail type buyers. So they're getting the highest price point for their properties, but those are the types of clients that take the most time to develop that relationship, and they've done an amazing job. So there was a ton to take away from there, but it was just work really hard, and you may be like a third of what Zach Betters is.
And so what about your
Pat Martin?
Yeah, Pat Martin.
So Pat Martin has an amazing rehab business, and Pat does a lot of things. So I don't want to discredit any of the other arms of his company, but he has a really well dialed flip machine, is what I would say. Yeah. And so for me as a rehabber, I wanted to see his processes. So I actually took my project manager with me, and when we went to Charlotte, we took our dispositions rep, and here in Phoenix, I brought my COO with me. So different people in my company went with me during these trips, but my project manager, my COO, and I learned a ton from Pat's operations and just the things that they do, how they operate their machine. But one of the takeaways that I added into my business after being with Pat was, I'm getting home inspections on every property. And a lot of people would look at that as a significant expense, but I would challenge you, if you're listening to this, to see the value in, we've been able to use those home inspections to renegotiate with sellers thousands and thousands of dollars. So it may cost me $300-400 every house, but we've negotiated tons of money off from things that our reps don't see. And it's just been a really good takeaway for us, just that one little thing. But their business is huge. He's doing like 200 flips a year. So again, it was a dream builder to see what it can scale to, but that was one actionable takeaway that we saved a lot of money from.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know that office visits are something that we really encourage in CG. I can see why you were so close. You were like a vote away from first. I understand why. So
it's an easy thing to do too, like taking your team and being intentional with them. It's a cost, but man, it's an investment in your team, and it's just really powerful to go see the intangibles in their culture, because you can't get those intangible feels. When you talk to Stephanie and Zach Betters here, you're not in Charlotte to feel how their operation runs.
Right.
And when you're in their meetings and in their office and you hear them communicating, just the intangibles, you take away so many things. And I would just challenge anyone looking at this. I mean, that's the opportunity with this group, is to rub shoulders with people who are, number one, willing to talk to you, but number two, they're willing to be intentional in your business and let you come in and see how they work. And I'm immensely thankful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. If you are interested in attending our next event and networking with investors like Tyler, head over to learn more about CG.com, fill out an application, and you can chat with one of our many members on our team today. Thanks so much.
Yes,
I appreciate
ma'am.
it.